Hi guys, welcome back to another lesson. In the next 10 minutes I'm going to show you exactly how to turn a flat boring breakdown into a massive pro level build up using nothing but your synth, literally the synth you already have in your project. And by the end of this video you'll know how to duplicate your synth down, build tension bar by bar, and create your own custom build up effect and pitch bend everything into a crazy energetic drop. And honestly, this is one of the easiest things to follow along with and a really pro level skill to have under your belt. So you're going to be watching me step by step. You'll be able to copy everything so easy. And if you've ever wondered how the pros just glue everything together so well and everything feels so molded together in one track, well, this is the secret. So let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing what we're going to do is just duplicate the synth down and take it down here. Now, why do we want to duplicate it? Because instead of relying on riser samples and random whooshes, we're going to turn this synth into our own build-up effect, and it keeps your sound consistent and glues the breakdown to the drop, and it's how you make your track feel more intentional and not just thrown together. So I've not really arranged this track just yet, but if we're going to say that our breakdown is going to be from here to here, and we're just going to take out these bits and pieces, maybe leaving the synth, and take out the drums just so we can see clearly where our breakdown is going to be. First breakdown can be here, and actually just start duplicating the amount of notes. So if we listen to this, so we'll have the normal notes on the first section, and then what we want to do in the second section is just duplicate the amount of notes over. So hold down Alt and duplicate that over, like so. And then in this second section here, what we want to do is highlight all the notes again. And this time we're going to shorten them halfway and hold down Alt and just move them over again. And then just do that one more time, like so. So now if we listen, it's going to start building tension. And then in this section here, we're just going to copy this one, paste it here, and now we just want it a little bit more intense again. So the long notes on this one, I'm going to highlight any longer notes. I'm going to shorten. Like so, and then just add in where the gaps are to make it feel like there's a bit more tension again. If we listen to that, we could actually shorten these two as well, duplicate these. And then I'm going to copy that over again, and we're going to highlight all of them, shorten them, not so much that they're really short like some of the smaller ones, but around there. And then what we're going to do is highlight them all, press Alt, and I'm just going to move them up like so to fill in the gaps that way. Okay, just want to get rid of these notes here. So it's just across 4 bars. Now, if we just listen to this before we've done much to it, what we've done just by duplicating and manipulating the synth, we've already created some tension, some rhythm, some movement, some energy. We might want to move these notes around a little bit, but this is just giving you a natural rise to the drop with no extra plugins, and this is how the pros glue their tracks together. It stops your breakdown feeling empty, stops the drop feeling random, and everything feels like it's one big journey. I think I would do a little bit of work on this part here. Probably highlight these and see. First of all, those notes aren't in key. Just making sure everything's still in key by looking at the purple highlighted scale. Which isn't right because I've put that in C major when we're writing in F minor. Yeah, so we just need to bring these notes down. That makes more sense. And now I probably would spend a bit of time sort of messing around with these notes and making sure that it sounds, you know, a little bit more professional. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to show you some final touches. So we want to add the pitch bend. So what we want to do is highlight the final section before the drop, open up envelopes over here, and then what we want to do is down here we want to click on MIDI control, and then we want to select pitch bend. So it's already on pitch bend, and then what we can do is start pitch bending it. So we could start at 0 and then we could go all the way around to a whole octave up. So we could go like plus up 12 semitones. So if we start at 0 and then you can start to hear that going up, but what we could do is sort of make it quite drastic on the end there. Press Alt down to make a bit of a curve. Okay, and you can hear that really coming together now. You can hear that really coming together, and we could go a bit further, to be honest. You could even take it across like all of these bars, but I feel like just the last one, because we're building tension with those notes anyway. Yeah, I like that, how that just pitch, I feel like that really sort of like finishes that off. The other thing that I would do on this is I would add some effects. So I would add quite a few things that I would add. But let's start with an auto filter. And a reverb. And then I'd probably add auto pan. And then what I would do is highlight these two, press Command G to group them, open up the macros, and then what I would do is map the reverb to macro 1 and the frequency to macro 1, and then as we're bringing this up, I want to actually change that. So I've just changed this to a high pass, so then as we're turning the macro 1 up, we're taking out the lows and we're adding reverb. So then as we're in the build up, we're taking out the lows because then the lows want to come back in on the drop, and we're also adding a bit of reverb to it. I also want to add quite a lot of auto pan to this as well. So I'm going to put put the rate up like so, and then I'm just gonna show automation, and then start bringing this up like so, and then give it a bit of a curve as well to give it that spike at the end. Now if we listen to this, alright, it might be a bit too much to be honest, maybe around there. That is how you can take your synth, give it more attention, and use the same sort of elements in your build up to then bring it back in. So if you've enjoyed this lesson and you want more free lessons, please do like and subscribe, I'm begging you, or drop me a comment asking for what other lessons you want, or click the link in the description if you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis.